Hello, how are you? Never done this before, so if this is completely jacked, I apologize. My daughter Ava, flip it around so you can say hi to everybody. No, she doesn't want to. Is helping me. Thanks, Ava. So we're talking about core stability this month and how important it is to living in the world, and today specifically we're talking about the transverse abdominis. The transverse abdominis is a deep abdominal layer that connects from hip to hip. And the first thing you want to do is figure out where it is, because if you've lost cortical control of your transverse abdominis, you'd be like, well, I don't really know where it is. So I'm going to help you figure that out today. Ava, you might want to move to this side a little bit. So you'll start by putting your hands in your hip bones right here, right on the inside of your hip bones, and kind of push your fingers in a little bit. So when you hear a yoga instructor or a fitness instructor say, draw your hips together, this is the muscle that we're trying to activate. Belly button pulled in, that's a different muscle. We're talking about drawing the hip bones together. So imagine there's a piece of saran wrap going from hip to hip, and put your fingers in between your hip bones, and then activate that muscle by drawing your hip bones together. And it might take some practice because often transverse abdominis muscles have gone quiet for various reasons. So see if you can activate that first and play with that for a second or two while I move on to our first exercise of the month, which is in the comments of my transverse abdominis post today. So the first one are called hollows. And what you're going to do is, I like to keep my hands here and touch my transverse abdominis, and you hollow out your body. And so you start with your pelvic floor and you draw up and hollow your body out. And then I want you to hold it for 6 to 10 seconds. And then with conscious control, I want you to release. And you're going to do that 5 times. So it's not going to take that much time, yeah? All right, next thing that we're going to do is a plank. An ABC plank is getting yourself in a high plank position. And if you prefer, for some reason, your wrists don't love the plank, you can put a blanket underneath your palms, letting your fingers drape off. Or you can do forearm plank, which is lovely too. And you just sing the alphabet. But what I want you to pay attention to here is belly button is pulled into the spine, heels are pushing back towards your back wall, and see if you can activate and access your transverse abdominis in your plank. I'm not going to sing it for you, but A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The next thing is we're going to go back to those hollows, so we're going to flip back to our back, and we're going to extend some legs. A lot of times you'll see people do hollows with long arms and long legs, and this is just so much load on the body. And so I want to tell you that this exercise here is completely your choice. You can go back to last month's hand hovers, where you just stand on your stable table and lift an arm and a leg and a knee. But if you want to play with this one, just notice your lower back and if it's adding any stress in your lower back. So you're going to hollow your body out, hollow, and then you're going to slowly extend an opposite arm and an opposite leg, and then draw them back in, keeping everything hollowed as you extend outward. And this is a nice, safe way to kind of enter into doing hollow rocks and both arms and legs extended. The next thing that I'm going to show you is a bear crawl. It's a little bit different than you might see in a gym where we use bear crawls as a warm-up for shoulders. This is most definitely a core stability exercise when done in this manner. If you have irritated knees on hard surfaces, I double up my mat, so it's kind of a nice soft movement or place that I can land my joints. And a bear crawl, you're inviting a stable table. And so what you want to do is lead with your knee and foot kind of in an active position. Walking forward on your mat and then walking backward. And again, can you access your transverse abdominis, keeping your core stable as you move through this movement pattern. You can up-level this movement if that's super easy for you by letting the knees hover off the mat. So it's kind of like so. And then you polish it all off with another ABC plank. I think that's it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to respond to any questions in the comments. Have a really good night.